Explore the wisdom of the revered Narada Bhakti Sutras, a cornerstone of Hindu devotion, with His Holiness Swami Jyotirmayananda. Experience 45 enlightening lessons on the essence of Bhakti Yoga. Discover the path to pure love for God and transcend the material world. Embrace the teachings that have guided devotees for centuries. Attain spiritual perfection through devotion. Prepare to understand the depths of divine love. Find your path to spiritual enlightenment. Trust in the sutras. Follow these instructions. Be blessed with devotion. And now, His Holiness Swami Jyotirmayananda.
Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, bestower of immortality. As you recall, I have been giving short talks on Narada Bhakti Sutras. Just to reiterate certain points. The first sutra says, Athato Bhaktim Vyakhyāsyāmaha. Now therefore, we shall explain Bhakti. And I have explained to you, now means now. There is no correction on that. Therefore, because so long you have passed through this world process, and where are you? So therefore, Vyakhyāsyāmaha, now we get into the details. Satvasmin Parama Prema Rupa. Bhakti is that goal that you are going after. There is no dryness in that goal. Every movement, every step you take towards the bhakti has a reward beyond your imagination. Once bhakti has developed in your heart, you have been placed on a royal road. And even if you walk on it with eyes closed, you will not fail. You will move forward. Because the path of love, to be loved and to find the object of supreme love, that is innate in every individual. And when you are directing your steps towards that attainment, how can there be any boredom? How can there be any frustration, sorrow, difficulty? So the test of bhakti is in your sustained movement without feeling frustration or despair. How long I have waited for God. One old parable illustrates that point. As Narada was going to Lord Vishnu, and on his way he met a person who was practicing intense austerity. Austerities put fires all around him, called Panchagni. There are 4 fires are there on 4 sides. Probably he heated the earth as well. And the fire from the sky with the summer sun. And he was doing his mantra and very highly ritualistic. He turned to Narada, and Narada was passing by. He always draws attention of people. He said, "Oh sage, you are going to Lord Vishnu. Ask him, how long should I go on practicing this? As a result of which I may behold him, I will have your darshan. How long will he take to appear before me? Narada says, very well. Surely you are doing intense work. God will come rushing to you. Then he goes to, as he passes by, he sees a devotee, very happy. He is chanting the divine name, singing, dancing. And Narada, as passes by, the devotee turns to Narada and likewise he asks, when you meet Lord Vishnu, please ask him, how long will he appear before me? And after a short while, Narada returns. He meets the man who is practicing intense austerity. And he says, your austerity has been very intense and has been recognized in the heavenly world. And it's just 5 more years, and Lord Vishnu will appear before you and grant you any boon you want. He said, that's enough for me. So all that torture I've already gone through. He got out of it. He was completely frustrated. And he goes to the devotee under the tree. And Narada says, well, Lord, don't you know Lord Vishnu is very busy, you see. So he can't appear like that. But the answer is he will. But see, look at the leaves of the tree. It will take as many years as the leaves of the tree. And he said, he will appear. So what's the rush of appearing? Because every movement is so delightful. The question of how long does it take, that doesn't worry me at all. See, someone has been given a rasgulla, has been told, you have to take little bits, little by little. Wait until all people have eaten. Until then, continue eating. There's no problem with that. Rather, your rasgulla will be more assimilable. The idea is to understand that develop proper attitude to spiritual sadhana. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to follow path of devotion. As I have already explained, all yogas are interrelated. You may not call it bhakti yoga, but it is always there with you. Your feeling will also advance as reason and will all movement, all begin to advance. The idea is, therefore, avoid being impatient, because we're not working for something that is of the world. Things of the world have their time limit. You want mangoes, there is a time limit. The season will be over, so you have to get fast. So that path, devotion, is of the nature of supreme love. And love in any stage is extremely inspirational to the mind and a source of joy. And this point has to become settled in human mind. Since you are a sadhaka, the question of patience doesn't arise. You are in the arms of the mother. When will she look at you and put her hand on your head? Who cares? Sadhana should become as natural as what I have been explaining. Then you have attained a royal path. And highest attainment is like breaking through the dark clouds and lightning flashing. The highest attainment is simple. Even this description of lightning is little dynamic type. Revelation is very simple. The rising of the sun, darkness disappears. Amrit Swarupasa cha. That goal is of the nature of nectar. Yallabhva puman siddho bhavati, amrito bhavati, tripto bhavati. Having attained that, one becomes perfect. Nothing more to be attained. Immortal. There is no death, because the soul, having attained God realization, does not maintain individuality. As I told you before, this relationship between soul and God is just like sun reflected in a jar and the sun shining above. The reflected sun is the soul, the jiva. Jiva is constantly associated with ego, a sense of individuality. And when there is a sense of individuality, there is always progress, going forward, going backward. As long as you are in a jar, you see, who knows what will happen. It shakes, it becomes muddy, becomes clear, more fishes develop in it. Or sometimes, by good karma, the divine plan replaces the jar. You have a bigger jar. The same water flows into the other jar, the reflection has moved. In other words, you have better incarnations. But the greatest attainment is not to stay confined to the jar. To realize I am the sun. But that should not give you the idea of breaking the jar. Because the jar is not in no way contradicting the greatness of the sun. So enlightenment means you are the jar. Sun, the sun that is reflecting within you as your soul. The soul has attained enlightenment. And it is no longer deluded with the false identity that I am the reflection. Rather, it is always aware, I am the sun. All problems have ended. That state is called Siddho Bhavati. You become a Jivan Mukta. Attainment of enlightenment does not mean that you have to wait until you die to be sure you have attained enlightenment. It's a great, it's profound matter. Because most people in the world cannot imagine that perfection can come in life. The Hindu culture rather declares if it doesn't come in life, it is not worth attaining it. Jivan Mukti has to come within your life. And now it will turn to Videha Mukti in course of time. Videha means body dies and your soul is free. But even while the body is there, your soul is free. Your soul is in one with God. That's the goal. That is the goal for all individuals, all souls. There's always desire in the mind. And all situations and attainments that are in the realm of time and space, they are like moving pictures on a screen, constantly changing. All is transient, and transient objects cannot make you tripta, absolutely satisfied. Fifth sutra, yat prapya na kinchit vanchati. Having attained it, one has no expectation from the world. doesn't desire anything of this world, because the mind is fully enlightened regarding the transient nature of the world, that objects of enjoyment cannot satisfy all your desires, and desires cannot terminate by satisfying them. The general idea that if you went after fulfilling your desires, your mind will become relaxed. But in practice, it will never happen. The old illustration of King Yayati, who was able to become young again, and in spite of all that enjoyment he was able to experience, he finds time passes on, hundreds of years passed on, and looked within himself. He was as thirsty as before. Trishna na jirna vayameva jirna. There is saying, craving doesn't age. You age. As body-mind complex, every individual ages. The craving doesn't age. It hibernates. The next embodiment, because it has still there, it brings about another embodiment and goes on doing so. Na shochati. All forms of grief, sorrow terminates. Na dveshti. No hatred in the mind. Na ramate. World experience is always viewed as mirage. And if you are wise, if you are mature, no matter how thirsty you may be, you don't go after mirage. Mirage water will never satisfy you. Notsahi bhavati. The term utsah is significant. Every day you look forward to fulfillment of a desire. Also, as time passes by, so many things happen in the world. Technological advancement, advancement in every field of knowledge. And when you go on seeing that, there is always utsah. What's coming next time? That spirit of finding excitement that's inherent in every individual. And that becomes the basis for all the entertainments that are given by films and many other programs of entertainment, as well as the general attitude to be thrilled, to be amazed. And also, due to Maya, though the same type of enjoyment you have repeated countless times, and yet the mind finds something exciting about it. As well as there is expectation. With the passage of time, people will find new thrills. Just now, the thrill is take your plane and go from one North Pole to South Pole. Time may come, get into space, take a spacecraft, and say hello to your friend on the moon. What a thrill. All this has no meaning to it, one who is enlightened. If a river comes to the ocean, talks about the thrill of the world, how much waters come in during the rain, and describes the beauty of rain and the thrill about it, the ocean remains dumb. At the same time, ocean doesn't contradict, come in, welcome. Notsahi bhavati. Here utsaha is a term which should be understood from profounder way. Otherwise, utsaha is important in your daily life. Utsaha makes you do your duty with a sense of enthusiasm, with interest. Yat gyatva matto bhavati. Having known that, having attained God realization, you become extremely intoxicated. This is divine intoxication. When you have undivine intoxication, you lose awareness of your home, people. Person who is drunk sits by a little wayside, roadside, maybe a little ditch, sits into it, and in his intoxication, he's talking to his servants or his sons. He's asking for this and asking for that, or just he's singing a song. But that's a negative way of breaking the realities of the world. Positive way, once you have attained God realization, no matter how situations may develop, you are immersed in divine joy. Siya Ram Mai Sab Jag Jani. The entire world is filled with Sita and Ram. Is that madness? People talk about Satya Yuga will come, then one incarnation will appear somewhere. And then wait for Treta Yuga, again Rama may come. But you become so mad, even now, everyone has become Rama and Sita, including me. All, no one left. Matto bhavati. You should never compute it with ordinary type of intoxication. This intoxication is Christ consciousness, is divine consciousness. So therefore, as in the case of Christ, he sees those people who tortured him, going to crucify him, he turns to God and says, forgive them, they know not. It's madness from a practical point of view. And to give you a humorous parable, a man, enlightened personality, he belongs to the Middle East, Sufi tradition. He goes into a bar, because that's the only place people come together and they are very happy about. He goes there and the person there, the barkeeper, asks him, what should I give to you? He says, just give me penny worth. See, in those days, penny meant a lot. Give him one ounce at least. The others look at him. There the pride is whoever can take it more. See, that shows the elegance, the affluence, you can gain money and excitement. And he is asking for just a little, poor man. What will you get out of that? He said, I don't want intoxication, I'm already intoxicated. I want you to know that I also smell. So I will apply that to my mustache and my beard. It is not going to slip inside me. So to the enlightened person, this whole world and its enjoyment is like a big bar. All that he wants is a little penny worth. So that people don't feel that he is too strange. Stabdho bhavati. As long as you are advancing, there is always some expectation in the mind. The Kundalini has come to the heart center, it's come to the Agnya Chakra. Savikalp Samadhi has been gained, and what will be, how wonderful it will be if you slip into another higher level. And there is excitement, there is mind is ready to describe it. But when you actually attain the glimpse of God, all words that are used on the basis of senses, silenced. You are stunned. Mukha swadanavat. Just like in a party, someone is eating, enjoying the food. Food is very delicious. And a friend nearby asks, how do you like that? He doesn't know that this man is dumb, he can't speak. So no matter how much he tastes, he can't describe it. Here you don't really become dumb, you see. You are extremely eloquent. But there isn't any word, there isn't any language. There is no literature, no matter how advanced. It may be Shakespearean literature that cannot really describe the attainment of God realization. Therefore, matto bhavati. But that doesn't imply that the sages did not speak of this. All the scriptures are describing the glory of God. Sages were extremely eloquent, most talkative. But all their eloquence had a source of spiritual silence. Silence that brings out all inspiration. Touched by that silence, you can inspire countless people. So sometimes some of these things shouldn't be taken literally. You start imagining, now I'm getting mat. Intoxicated. Atma Ramo Bhavati. Ever delighting in the self, because the self alone is. If you are not enlightened, then you are delighting in illusions. Every moment, names and forms change. Like in a cinema show. Sometimes the show is so thrilling to your mind. But you are constantly delighting in the changing pictures. Your delight is not real. But when you have attained God realization, you are not delighting, you become the bliss. You are one with God, where time and space have stopped or transcended. You are in the realm again is figurative term, you are in eternal. Eternity has become your reality. And yet in practical way, in day-to-day life, you are dealing with the world. From the point of view of the masses, you are like anybody else. Jivan Mukta, Sthita Prajna. But your happiness is not coming from anything of the world. Rather, you, as Atma, the self, you are the giver of happiness to all. All things that shine and glimmer and appear radiant because of the sun. If you are the sun, you are always enjoying in your own glory. But if you are not the sun, become identified with the reflected sun, then you are jealous. Why are those buckets shining more? Then there is a concept of degrees of happiness. But whatever happiness the world gives is transient, backed up by karma. And when you think deeply into it, it is not happiness at all. It's just like mirage water. Therefore, when Lord Krishna came to Kunti after the Mahabharata war, saying that he was going to go back and just to say goodbye, and Kunti offered a prayer and said, "Oh Krishna, do one thing for me. All this time you gave me trouble, one after another." You referring to God. Krishna to her was God's incarnation. So you have given me all that. And during those difficult times, I learned the art of churning the mind. And it has been so churned up. Now you say that you have attained victory and everything has been settled. That doesn't settle with me. Don't stop that churning process. Don't stop that troubles that you have been giving me. Not to be taken literally. All that she wanted is that let my mind move on to enlightenment. Continue to give me sufferings that will give me increasing devotion to your feet, so that I may not come back to this world ever again. Apunar bhava darshanam. May I behold that state from where one does not return into the world of time and space. See, imagine a country that had that type of prayer at a time when people were completely operating in a different level. Sa na kamayamana nirodha rupatvat. The next sutra says that devotion is of the nature of cessation of desires. It's not an object of desire. Term is very significant. All things that you attain in life, they are objects of desire. You desired, attained it. When you attained it, you felt you are better than before. Before attaining it, if you walked in a hunched way, having attained it, walked. I'm different now. I've attained it. Philosophically, we say, becoming. The world of time and space is the inexhaustible source of becoming. You are somebody else and you become something else. You are a little tiny tree, you become more branches, you grow. You are poor, you become rich. You are backed up by negative karmas, now you have positive karma. It's always some becoming goes on. But becomings don't become the soul within you. The spirit within you is eternal. Think of the sky. Every morning, these clouds gather in such a way, there is something different happens day by day. Should the sky fall for it? All becomings don't become this. It is not becoming to the sky. The sky remains ever the same, not opposed to becomings. Enfolds all the clouds, let them move. But no illusion. Not a single cloud is going to add any beauty to the sky. Not a single special morning or a special picturesque setting of the sunrise will add anything to the sky. It's important to understand these two terms, becoming and being. Being means you are already. The eternity of the self is shining within you. Its light is pouring through the unconscious. And the plane, because of ignorance, ego begins to jump up and starts asserting these things are mine. And there is past, there is present, there is future. And that there comes the role of the jiva, karmas, purushartha, self-effort. And all that is being bathed in the constant spring of light, awareness, boundless awareness, flowing from deep within yourself. And that never stops. When you go to sleep, mind has stopped, ego has stopped, cinema has stopped, all changes. And awareness has not stopped. You are completely comfortable, absolutely comfortable. Miss nothing, not even your tea. But the moment you wake up, you become identified with the ego blended with the ego. And again the world starts, the same drama starts. But all the ego's achievements and attainments, all the world of ego is illumined by the light of the self. Pure awareness is creating all that. If you become enlightened, all this will go on, but there is no sorrow, there is no mind that holds on to the illusions of pain, grief, sorrow, limitations. That's called enlightenment. Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayo. Mind is the cause of bondage and release. Nakamaya mana nirodha rupatvat. Therefore, the scriptures go after analyzing that point. What is kama? Why does a person desire? Desire again is of different types. General desires are always you want fame, lokeshana, you want to have more expansion, more recognition. And there is another ashana, you want to propagate yourself. Deep down, the spiritual truth is you are all. Identified with the body, the truth becomes a little twisted. How can I stay in the world? Well, if you have lots of sons and lots of grandsons, your body is gone and you are gone, but you are staying somehow. As long as you have not discovered that aspiration. The message is not to stop having children. The message is to understand that your real instinct is not fulfilled just by having children. Rather, discovering that I am all, you can help the mind to understand. Sometimes people feel very lonely. And then you tell the person that there are They are friends. Now these days with computers and all that, you open up a special connection and you have hundreds of friends like it gives you an idea, I'm here, I'm there. To discover the truth, you are everywhere. But this is just a tiny drop in that direction. They are backed up by illusion. Everyone wants to exist. Everyone wants to be propagated. Everyone wants to have a lot of fame. All these are, if you analyze them, they are backed up by three profound instincts in everyone. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Your existence, absolute existence. Therefore, by your mind, you are trying to fake existence, outfox it. By making your body exist, by making your property exist, by making your relatives exist. You are chasing existence. But if illusion breaks, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the intellect. You are absolute existence. When you realize that, then that desire for existing in an ignorant way stops. Similarly, when you realize you are all the beings, you're not confined to one family, Vishwabandhutva, the entire world, Vishwatman. You are the soul of all. Then again, your mind doesn't have that desire. How can I multiply myself? And the desire for fame. When you realize that your fame is being sung by even a little butterfly as it flies, as well as countless stars sing your fame. Aham vrikshasya reriva. I am the destroyer of the world tree. Kirtihe prishtham gireriva. My fame is on the mountain top. So you don't need journalists to bring out your fame. The idea is when you attain enlightenment, all these desires dissolve. As desires dissolve, love unfolds, love of God, until you become immersed. Lali mere lal ki jit dekhun titla. Meera says, I went out looking for the beauty of my beloved. That's what every soul has been doing from life to life. Lali dekhan main chali, but as pursued the path of bhakti yoga, ended up, main bhi ho gayi lal. I became immersed. I myself became the beloved. In the study of how to deal with desire, Krishna gives insight in chapter 3. There are three great enemies, Kama, Krodha, Lobha. They are the gates to hell. There are 4 gates to heaven. There are only 3 gates to hell. 4 gates to heaven is Shama, serenity, Santosh, contentment, Vichar, inquiry, Satsanga, association, good association. This I'm talking on a humorous basis, not to be taken too seriously. The idea is that even though there are only few gates have been mentioned for hell, they're more attractive for the masses. Desire. It is desire itself that turns into anger. And anger depletes your mental energy, and you begin to lose your patience. Therefore comes greed. Greed means you don't want to get it by your self-effort. You just want to snatch The same Sanskrit root that gridra, vulture, the Sanskrit term is gridra. From that, it came into English language, greed. So therefore, dealing with these three, kama, krodha, lobha, actually you have to focus on kama. You once control kama, all others subside. In order to control kama, where does the kama dwell? Krishna explains, kama dwells in your senses, in your mind, and in your intellect. So if you were to allow your senses to be controlled by your mind, and the mind to be controlled by your intellect, and intellect to submit itself to God's mind. Same, the chariot simile. Then kama has no place. You begin to enjoy things you can never dream of, God gives you. So why to desire? All that you need to do is integrate your personality. Think of a stringed instrument. It is desiring, how can I bring out wonderful melody? All that you need to do is to let it be in the hands of Saraswati Devi. Let your personality come in harmony with God's plan, with God within you. Let the chariot, your personality, be handled by God within. All that you have to do is go on tuning to God. And then let Him deal with all the details. When that happens, you realize it's a greater fun not to have desire. Because every desire that you have limited your possibility. In the process of desirelessness, you gain, speaking from an ordinary point, you gain beyond your imagination. And there is a higher leap, you attain enlightenment. With this, may God bless you. Om Shanti Shanti.
Thank you for joining us on this journey of spiritual growth. It's an honor to learn from the wisdom of Swami Jyotirmayananda. As we part for now, remember, the quest does not end. Take time to reflect on today's insights and integrate them into your life. Until next time, stay open, stay curious, stay present. The light within you is always shining.